And welcome back to Forum. Scott Schaefer here this hour for Mina Kim. We're talking about allegations of insider trading as President Trump's tariff policies are causing wild swings in the stock market. We're talking with Maria Aspen, finance correspondent for NPR, and Aaron Mansfield, democracy reporter with USA Today. And joining us now is California Congressmember Mike Levin. He represents California's 49th district, which includes southern Orange County and a bit of northern San Diego County as well. Congressman Levin, welcome to Forum.
Thanks, Scott. Good to be with you.
Well, first of all, let me ask you, you and your colleagues sent a letter to House Speaker Mike Johnson. What was the gist of that letter?
The gist, Scott, was that we would like full transparency for all trades that were made by members of Congress between April 2nd and April 9th. And currently the law is something called the Stock Act, which says that members do need to disclose when they trade individual shares of stock, but that disclosure comes between 30 and 45 days after the trade is made. And it also does not include a timestamp. It does not include the specific amount. It includes a range. And I'd really like to see everything that happened in the last week between the 2nd and 9th, particularly on the 8th and the 9th. You'll recall that the president put out on Truth Social at, I believe it was 9:37 a.m. on Wednesday, the post, "Today is a great time to buy." And what we know is that on the prior evening, Tuesday evening, the House Republicans had a dinner with President Trump. We also know that many members of the administration had discussions, as had many members of Congress, with President Trump leading up to last Wednesday, and 9:37 was that post, and then at 1:18 p.m. was the announcement of the 90-day pause. So I would like personally to see the trades that were made pre-market and before that 9:37 post, and then others that were made in those next 4 hours, roughly 4 hours until the pause was announced. And this really, to me, it reinforces the need, Scott, for a ban on members of Congress being able to trade individual stocks. I've advocated for that ban going on 7 or 8 years now, and I'll keep at it. And I think there's momentum building for it.
So when you say, and coming back to that letter, you want full transparency, are you asking members, specifically Republicans, but all members, to go beyond what the law requires in terms of disclosure?
Yes, and in particular the timing. So I'd like to see immediate record of any transactions. Now, of course, I'm realistic in my expectations here. I don't expect Mike Johnson to push his members to do much of anything, but we'll be watching very closely, very carefully when the Stock Act disclosure comes out. We'll see which members traded. We'll see what they traded, both on the 8th and on the 9th, and I think there'll be a fair amount to digest. Look, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that there aren't any egregious trades or anything outside the norm. I just remember when I first got to Congress when COVID hit, and we did get, as members of Congress, very significant then non-public information about the severity of COVID. And we saw, as both members of the House and Senate traded arguably on material non-public information with regard to COVID. And I felt then, as I do now, that was fundamentally wrong. No member of Congress, or for that matter, no member of the administration, should be trying to make a buck on the non-public information that they get as a result of their job. That's for me, part of public service is you're serving the public. You're not serving your own financial interests.
Have you heard anything back from the Speaker?
Not a word, and I'm not surprised because this current leadership team in the House is not really interested in holding members of their own party to account, just like this Department of Justice is not interested in holding the administration to account. And I think ultimately the court that will matter here is the court of public opinion. And like I said, I just hope that the coverage, I know so much will happen given the volatile nature, the unpredictable nature of the administration and all that's going on in the world and in the country. But I hope in a month's time we'll remember those trades that were made on the 8th and 9th and in the days leading up to it. Look, most everybody with public information sold in the days leading up to the tariff pause. And I'm curious to see what members of Congress or members of the administration may have done.
Well, one of your colleagues, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez from New York, spoke to reporters in Washington on April 10th about all of this. Let's hear a little bit of what she had to say.
The Republican Party in its first 100 days has set themselves up, yes, not only to lose majorities, but also to frankly enrich themselves in the process. I don't even know if they want to keep their majorities next year more than they are here to enrich themselves. And everyone should be enraged at that. And this is also, I genuinely do not care if it's a Democrat or a Republican, but anybody who traded in the last 48 hours and made an incredible amount of money prior to this tariff announcement, who sits right there in that house, needs to answer for it.
Congressman Levin, this is not a new issue. You mentioned during COVID there were some trades. I think Senator Richard Burr from North Carolina, maybe Kelly Loeffler from Georgia, also some suspiciously timed trades on health stocks. Nancy Pelosi was accused of similar kind of, inside trading. I don't think anything was ever confirmed around that regarding her husband Paul benefiting from information she would have gotten from briefings. But let me just say, Democrats have controlled everything in the past, the White House and Congress. Why? It seems if there is bipartisan support for this and clearly outrage now among Democrats, why wasn't something done previously?
Well, you're absolutely right. It's deeply frustrating, and it's certainly not for my lack of having tried. And I will tell you that it's tough to change a system when incumbents benefit from that system. That's true whether it's with regard to trading stock. It's true with regard to accepting corporate campaign contributions or not getting the dark money out of the political system. So you're absolutely spot on. I will tell you, though, that we do have now a growing bipartisan coalition around a stock trading ban and some unlikely allies in this. It was actually President Trump in 2022 that said he supported a ban on members of Congress being able to trade stock. And then most recently, Hakeem Jeffries, just in the last few days, the Democratic leader in the House, said that he was for a stock trading ban. So I see momentum. I see it among Democrats. I see it among Republicans. And I think that if there is evidence that, as has been implied, that members did benefit from the non-public information that they may have had leading up to the tariff pause, I think that that will have a backlash in the House. I think that people all across this country will stand up and demand a vote on a stock trading ban, and we will do everything we can to push Mike Johnson to do it. If he won't do it, I hope that Hakeem Jeffries will do it if he becomes Speaker of the House after 2026. In any event, I am confident, Scott, that if that vote were to occur on the House floor, that would pass, that we would pass a stock trading ban, and that the Senate would pass it as well, and the president would sign it into law. If I didn't feel that way, I wouldn't keep at it.
All right. That is Congressman Mike Levin, representing California's 49th District in Orange County and northern San Diego County. Congressman Levin, thanks so much for joining us.